All right, Shalom.
Shalom.
Before we begin, we want to give infinite praise, honor, and glory to
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Bahashem,
Yahweh
Yahushai,
Shai,
Bahashem, Rakakadash.
and double honors to our apostles and elders at Great Millstone, GMS, who were well and who taught us this truth. And peace and salutations be unto your fellow brethren that are pushing out this word of sincerity and in truth. All right, and today's topic is going to be on Jake. All right, our people, Israel. Right, which Israel consists of you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. All right, and we're getting into the subject of how Jake, they just love meddling into different doctrines, okay, different women, as the scriptures call them. And we're gonna prove that too, Lord's will, and that's gonna be the whole topic. So without further ado, give it what you got.
Yeah. This is Deuteronomy chapter 4 and verse 5. Behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as the Lord Yahweh my power commanded me, that ye should do so in the land whither ye go to possess it. Keep therefore and do them. Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations, which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people.
Yeah, right. Because we're not a bastard nation. We have a father. We have a God. We have a Elohim now. We have our power that looks after us. All right, Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai, Yahweh being the heavenly Father, and Yahweh Shai, who the world deems Jesus Christ. All right, those are our fathers. All right, they look after us.
If I can say, because the difference, of course, we're the being the Israel, Yashar Allah, He Prince Power, Yah He Shar Prince Allah Power. We're the sons of God. We're the chosen people. That means that the Lord basically He chose us. That He chose us, our nation, that He as His chosen people. Basically, the ones who He's gonna deal with. So that means that since the Lord gave us the law, statutes, and commandments, therefore, the covenant was made with us. In the ancient times, when we left Egypt, that covenant was made with you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans. All right, and part of that is what? Part of the agreement is to serve the Lord, basically. Yeah, exactly. Part of the agreement is to, which we're gonna get that. Yeah. Before I get it, I want to say, since basically we made the agreement to serve the Lord. When you are outside of that, you are now breaking the law, statutes, and commandments, which is what got us jacked up in the first place, which is why now we're being called niggas, spics, and wetbacks, which is why the so-called white man and these other nations have jacked us up, which is why all these bad things happen to us, because what we, went out of that, We started to, worship other gods, which was the number one reason why we got jacked up in the first place. Yeah. And that's primarily what we're talking about, because the other women, like the brother mentioned, is what? That's talking about these other philosophies, because we're going to read about, the other women, we're going to get into it a little bit.
Yeah, that's kind of the point of this video, too. I forgot to mention, it's a warning, man. Just don't go after these other women. Don't listen to any other groups or that don't teach the doctrine of Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai.
They aren't teaching the 100% truth.
Yeah, right. That comes from our apostles and elders on down. Right?
If I can get a precept real quick?
Yep. Because, Salaki, real quick, because we've been taught just to be of one accord or have one mind. We don't have disagreements amongst our brotherhood. We don't have doctrines mixed up. One sect of GMS doesn't believe in this. No. We're all of one accord.
One sound doctrine.
One sound doctrine. Yep.
This is Matthew 7 and 13. I'll get this before I get Ecclesiastes. Matthew 7 and 13. Enter ye in at the straight gate, for wide is the gate, and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction, and many there be which go in thereat. Verse 14, here's the point. Because straight is the gate, and narrow is the way which leadeth unto life, and few there be that find it.
Yeah.
Right, if I can say real quick. Because basically the way that leads unto life, well, really, it's not something that you can choose. The Lord really has to choose you to walk that path to everlasting life. Which we're gonna get some precepts out to better to better explain that. All right, but before we get those are the precepts, I'm going to Ecclesiastes.
Yeah, you got it.
This is Ecclesiastes chapter 12 and 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter, because you might have Israelites out there. Oh, they ask stupid questions. Like, well, I'm not gonna say stupid questions. They do. Some of them do ask foolish things. Those jakes that are like atheists and shit like that. They always say something dumb. But like I said, because Jake likes to ask, "What's the meaning of life?" and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Jake. That's that's Jake, man. They
simple questions.
Yeah, they smoke weed and they're like, "What's the meaning of life?" and stuff like that. The fake deep niggas. We talk about the wicked ones, by the way, not the hopeful elect. Talk about the wicked ones that They just get high or drunk, and what's the
Yeah.
meaning of life? Ecclesiastes 12 and 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear the Most High and keep His commandments, for this is the whole duty of man.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. If you're an Israelite, that's your meaning of life. Hey, you know, serve Yahweh Shem Shai and do what He tells you.
Yeah.
All right, because go ahead.
Oh yeah, even in the kingdom to come, even these heathens, they're actually gonna have this objective as well. The only difference is, of course, is that the Lord actually loves us. You know.
Yeah, the heathen are gonna have the
new
100% righteous bodies. So
Yeah.
these heathen are just gonna transgress.
But you know, like the brothers read in what was it? Was that Matthew's? The straight is the gate.
Yeah,
Straight is
Matthew
the way?
7.
Yeah, because you know it's because broad is the way that leads to destruction. Broad meaning it's really open, meaning it's easy. It's so easy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's so easy to fall into that pit. You know, so this is Proverbs chapter 21, verse 16. The man that wandereth out of the way of understanding shall remain in the congregation of the dead. And it's not just any understanding. It's the understanding. It's the holy understanding. You know, the holy wisdom, the holy knowledge, wisdom, and understanding from the Lord. All right, all right. It's this man. This is the that milk and honey, that righteous woman,
That water.
that water, that cistern. It's so many things that this word is compared onto. You know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you might see, for example, like, I just want to make a quick example because there's always things on the right hand side and there's always things on the left hand side. Because yes, there are Israelite camps that are doing that. Let's say are preaching. There's brothers that aren't in Great Millstone but are preaching the same doctrine that our elders and apostles teach, right? And that's right. But then there's other camps out there that aren't preaching the 100% truth. You know, so. Some of them may look, if I could say real quick, some of them may look right. Oh yeah, he got the garments on. Oh look, they even wear their fringes out in public. They must be righteous, and it's like that's not always the case.
They don't got understanding. They don't understand that we're in captivity and we got to rehearse the righteous acts.
Right.
Clearly that goes over their head. But
Yeah, they don't know. It's like they things that are lawful. Not everything's expedient.
Yeah. Can you get Hosea 4 and 6?
Yeah.
They got look. Oh, because as we were just touching on these 2/3, they'll do foolish things and they just go exploring. I remember seeing that on a sticker on the back of a car saying, "I'm not lost, I'm exploring."
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you are. You're lost. Why are you exploring anyway?
Because you just read that in Proverbs, right?
Mm-hmm.
They were wandered without a way of understanding. If I could say, I meant to add on to that Salakia.
Yeah.
I meant to say,
Actually,
speak on that. You want to read it again?
Yeah, I can read it. What was else?
Yeah, just reread it.
Mhm.
Because I wanted to make a point on a precept I was going to get Salakia. I didn't mean to, speak ahead, but, I'm going to let you read that first, in Proverbs real quick.
Yes, a lot.
Yeah, because the way of understanding is what the ways of Yahweh Shem Shai, the way following the Lord Yahweh Shem Shai within, being within the truth is the way of life. That's how you live. That's how you obtain life everlasting. So, Laki, go ahead.
Yeah, this is Proverbs again 21 and 16.
Mm-hmm.
The man that wandereth out of the way of understanding shall remain in the congregation of the dead.
Yeah, because basically, when you're not within the truth, you're now dead. You're like, what you call it? Because basically, this spirit, the spirit of life, it says in the book of John, chapter 6, that the spirit is the words, right? It is the spirit that quickeneth, which quickens means to be made alive.
Yeah.
So when you're living according to the words of Yahweh Shem Shai, you are now really truly living. Of course, we're in captivity right now, but as far as spiritually speaking, you're alive. All right, when you're within what the Lord commanded you to do, man, you are now living. Okay,
Yeah.
You're living correctly. You're no longer living. A lifestyle of death, so to speak.
Yeah.
Okay.
Another thing special about this wisdom is that the Lord, it's not just like a one-time thing. You have it in this life. It's just a one-time thing. No, it's forever.
Mm-hmm.
Lord will be part of that number. We have this wisdom forever, man. We had it since in another
we've
life.
had it more than one life. If we're part of the elect Lord's will.
Yeah.
If I could also say,
Yeah.
because dang, I forgot the point I was gonna say. It threw me off for a second. Dang, he's
Well,
weak.
yeah.
But that's what I was gonna say. Salakia.
Boy.
Hey, because basically, this wisdom, knowledge, is understanding. In the I'm gonna get it in Timothy's real quick. Basically, these scriptures are able to make thee wise into salvation, which, of course, the physical deliverance is salvation. But also, when the new covenant, is physically established, when Yahweh Shai comes back, delivers the elect, if be the Lord's will, we're part of that number, man. You get those new bodies, you never die again. You're not gonna die anymore. This is 2 Timothy chapter 3 and verse 15. And that from a child thou hast known the holy scriptures, which are able to make thee wise unto salvation through faith which is in Hamashiach Yahushua.
Yeah, if I could say that, that precept actually proves why this truth is better than physical riches, because
Yep.
physical riches, they can't save you from anything.
Right, they're corruptible.
Yeah, man. So and I can't remember what precept it was, but there's a precept where it tells you that it's just basically it's unpredictable. Like you never know what could happen to it if it's a corruptible treasure. You know, with cars,
Vanity.
women, houses, whatever. You know, whatever you may be into, it's just you never know what can happen to it. So what's the point? You know. So
Right.
we're gonna get on with Proverbs.
I'm gonna get
did you get Hosea 4 and 6?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is
Cool, shot.
Hosea chapter 4 and verse 6. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge.
Yeah, and it's just it's not the whole nation, but it's 2/3 of it. All right, which is that's a lot of Israelites. There's a
Yeah, it's a
lot of Israelites. That's a different selection, all right? That's a different club. You know,
2/3.
that's the 2/3 club. All right, those are the people that want to get basically involved with anything. All right,
Yeah,
they want to get
involved with anything.
anything that does not say how about Shemi Al Shai. They want to dive right in it. You know, they don't know what they're talking about. They don't know where they're going. They're exploring. You know,
Yeah,
they're exploring these dark ass caves. You know, they're not
Pits,
cooking.
You know?
You know, I remember seeing a video of this this actress. You know, she didn't know what she's talking about, saying, "Oh yeah, acting's not here. It's right here." You know.
Yo,
And
Jake is
that's,
something else.
That's from the scriptures. She said it's not
Right.
here. It's right here. When clearly the scripture, when the scriptures talk about the heart, as we know, this is why it's important to go into the Hebrew.
It actually is up
It
here.
is up here. Oh man, but
Goes
anyway,
right here. This pumps blood. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
man. Yeah, it's just the
You
organ.
know?
You know.
Yeah,
Anyway,
man.
this
that's,
is
that's how you know they're Israelites. They
Yeah.
say shit like that.
yeah. This
Oh, you don't want me to read this?
Huh?
Finish it.
okay, yeah. Finish it off.
Hosea 4 and 6. My people were destroyed for lack of knowledge. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee. Because 2/3 of the nation of Israel, well, indeed, they do reject knowledge.
Willfully.
Yeah,
They're
because-
willfully. Go ahead.
But I was just gonna say, because basically, when you see brothers out in the highways, man, it might come off kind of strong, for some people. But hey, man, it's the way that leads to life, man. The scriptures speak about, compelling, which means to threaten, Basically, through the terror of the Lord, persuade men. Loosely paraphrasing to that scripture, but basically, this is the way that leadeth unto life, man. And 2/3 of the nation of Israel are rejecting life, basically. Because, it says here that because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee. 2/3 are rejecting the Lord. So in the time of calamity, they're gonna try to call upon the Lord. The Lord's gonna reject them, man.
They don't even know the name of the Lord. They're gonna call into these other gods, these strange gods, and they're not.
Yeah, that's the thing, because they're in another philosophy. They think that they got it. They think they got the truth.
Man, this is Proverbs chapter 5 verse 1.
Mhm.
My son, attend unto my wisdom and bow thine ear to my understanding. All right, the Lord's using possessiveness. This is my understanding, my ears, my words. Salakia. Verse 2. That thou mayest regard discretion and that thy lips may keep knowledge. You see that? Because the Lord, hey man, essentially this links up with Proverbs 3 and 5. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart, meaning all thine mind.
Yeah,
Not this, that up here, man, the mind.
Yeah.
All right, trust in the Lord with all thine mind.
Yeah, because we
Right.
live in corruptible flesh. Oh, let me get that real quick in Jeremiah. This is Jeremiah chapter 17, verse 9. The heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who can know it? Because if you were to follow your own vain mind, if you were to follow your carnal lust, man, that's gonna lead you to destruction. Okay? Because what does your flesh really want to do? Your flesh just wants to, drink all day. Do nothing, man. Play video games all day.
Get involved with false doctrine.
Yeah, not believing in the Lord. Your flesh doesn't want to read, man. That's the spirit. The spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. All right, like it says in the scriptures.
Your flesh wants to do what the multitude do, which is
Yeah,
evil.
exactly.
Verse 3. Oh, would you got something?
Proverbs 3.
Oh, you can get that, but I'll finish this off.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Verse 3.
It's a lot.
For the lips of a strange woman, talking about those other philosophies. Actually, those will prove that after this. Drop. So I'll read that again. Proverbs chapter 5 verse 3. For the lips of a strange woman drop as an honeycomb, and her mouth is smoother than oil. Right? Because at first glance, it may seem smooth unto thee. I remember when I was first coming up, I was listening to Adam Abbott.
Oh yeah.
I gotta be honest. I didn't know what the hell they were talking about. It wasn't really edifying in my opinion. All right. It says
Yeah,
verse
because those
4,
other camps, man, they get you with the, or they get those not you know.
it could be flesh pleasing.
That's the thing, man. They get you with those flashy garments. You know, they got
Yeah,
women
yeah,
over
yeah,
there
yeah.
and stuff,
Oh,
man.
yeah.
You're like, oh,
Yep.
you know.
Yep,
But
yep,
then it's like, nah, that ain't the way. That can't.
Mhm.
Hey, actually, Salak, if I can say it real quick, hey, it's through the Lord's mercy that none of you brothers you brothers that listen to Great Millstone and stuff like that. Hey, it's through the Lord's mercies that we're not over there.
Right.
You know?
I mean, they're really snares, man.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
That's the thing, because
Mhm.
they get see how their congregations are big. That means that those people just got trapped into that. You know,
Yeah.
hey, we got to thank the Lord that we're
Yeah.
listening to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone.
Mhm.
You know,
But they were destined to hey, I'm gonna just read this.
yeah, we're gonna get Romans
Verse
11.
4.
So.
It says, but her end is bitter as wormwood, sharp as a two-edged sword.
Mhm.
Her feet go down to death, and her steps take hold on hell. You see that? So yeah, okay, sir, you're enjoying being enjoying with these other doctrines, laying with these other women,
Mhm.
you know. And women that could be anything, Christianity, Catholicism, Egyptology, all this other crappy, this other noise.
These other philosophies.
Other philosophies, it says that it's gonna lead you to death, man. Why? Because you're going out of the way of understanding. You're not going towards Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. You're going to another woman. Well, the Lord clearly told you that he gave you commandments to keep.
Yeah.
But instead, you want to go through to these, because really these were made up to the to the mind of other men, the precepts of men too.
Mhm.
That's another thing. These
I
were
can
made by
get
the
that.
precepts of men. These are the doctrine, all right? It says, I'm gonna skip down to verse 7. It says, "Hear me now, therefore, O ye children, and depart not from the words of my mouth." So don't depart from this truth, man. Whatever these people say, don't get enticed by it, because they're all hindering and vice spirits, man. They're vile spirits. Verse 8: "Remove thy way far from her, and come not nigh the door of her house." All right, because I gotta be honest. I don't know what Jake is doing. Look, Jake has no business meddling with these other philosophy, man. These other books, the Book of Enoch, the Vision of Esdras. I recently heard. I don't even, Look, you stick to what the elders and apostles of Great Millstone taught you, and that's it.
Yeah, and that's the thing, man. Because it's like, what did Jake be thinking? Because when I hear about these other books, so to speak,
Yeah,
I'll be
man.
like, yo, I need to stay away from that. You know?
Yeah.
If it's not the Holy Scriptures, man. I mean, because, brothers do read books with secular history.
that's
into it,
different,
but that's a
though,
whole
man.
different
Yeah.
thing. And that's when brothers are built up in the faith, by the way,
This is. I'm gonna get something else.
Proverbs.
This is well, I got this real quick. This is Psalms 119 and 104. "Through thy precepts I get understanding." And again, it's not just any understanding; it's the holy understanding that the Lord is going to reveal unto you. And that's what's so special about it too. Because I think it's in Sirach. I'm not gonna get it, but it says that wisdom is not manifested unto many. Or if it
Oh, yeah, Con. Yeah, because I read earlier,
This is special.
Yeah, because I read earlier in Matthew 7, few there be that find it.
Mhm.
Yeah, ultimately, man, for you to get to there, man, the Lord has to guide you there.
Yeah. All right, Psalms 119 and 104 again. "Through thy precepts I get understanding. Therefore I hate every false way." All right, I hate every false way. The H word, man. We hate that stuff. It sounds weird. When you say the microchip isn't the mark of the beast, that shit's weird, right? That's
Yeah,
a
it
different
does.
song.
Yeah, when people come up saying all these other things, I don't even want to hear it.
When you say West Africans aren't the Israelites, that's
It's
weird.
odd.
When you say the so-called Latinos and Native Americans aren't Israelites, that's hella weird, and we hate that shit, man.
Yeah.
We hate it.
Mhm.
We vehemently.
Yep.
That which means you hate it with a passion.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah, because we hate the false ways because what we've been taught. We know it through faith to be the truth, right?
Yeah, man.
So when we hear these wayward philosophies and these other doctrines, we are disgusted by it, Literally, man, when people come up, you see somebody with, and I'm not talking about the sincere brothers. We're talking about the ones that come up and instead of like to inquire or to ask questions, they just sit there and scoff and pretty much boast about whatever they believe in. Those jakes that come up with the dreads, talking about some this and that,
Because they're under that
Egyptology
that
stuff, and you're just
Yeah.
like, ew, get this out of here, yo.
Exactly. It's just man. You're just in
This
bed.
is Proverbs chapter 3 and 5. "Trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths. Be not wise in thine own eyes. Fear the Lord, and depart from evil." Yeah, and to Salakia, and to depart from evil, departing from evil, of course, these other philosophies, man, that way doesn't lead to life. That's an evil way. All right, that's gonna bring judgment, man, to go into these other philosophies and such. All right.
Yeah.
Did you get Proverbs already? The 6th one.
Not yet. Can you get Proverbs chapter 6, verse 23?
Yeah.
Because we just talked about these other philosophies being women. I think it says the same thing when concerning Babylon, which is America according to the scriptures. The Esau Edom, which is the so-called white man, so-called Caucasian, right? The Caucasian race, they pull out their women, which their women consist of many things, feminism and all this other crap. We're gonna prove with his precepts.
This is Proverbs chapter 6 and verse 23. For the commandment is a lamp, and the law is light.
Yeah, that's another thing too. When you get into this, what did the Lord call us? He called us the children of light.
Yep.
We're the real white people.
Yep.
Because look, this truth. That's the thing. It's another thing too. These other philosophies, these other doctrines that these people teach, they can't give you answers. I mean,
they don't have the answers.
They don't have the solution. That's the word.
Yeah,
they can't offer you who you are, and how to receive salvation, and what to do in the season that we're in. Because this truth can.
Because if I may say, when you come into the truth, of course you learn that you're an Israelite. You learn that the white man is a devil. The so-called white man is the devil, Salakia.
You know who your enemy is?
Yeah, and not only that, but it also tells you what's going to happen. It tells you about how there's going to be a recompense that Esau Edom has to pay. There is going to be a point in time where the Lord's going to come back and everything's going to be set up right, man. Where the people who are supposed to be on top will be on top, being the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right. And the Edomites are going to be eradicated. That's an excellent solution to a lot of the problems that's going on. All right.
Yep. Hey, with this truth, we're going to receive immortality, Lord's will. Come on, man.
We read that in Timothy's.
Let me a philosophy that can do that. Instead, you niggas want to be Hamites.
Yeah, because from what we can see with all these other philosophies, man, for them it just looks like it just keeps going. Wherever that right there, it just keeps going.
Like,
that's just life.
And we just read it. Their end is gonna be death.
Proverbs 6 and 23. I'm gonna start at the top again.
Yeah.
For the commandment is a lamp, and the law is light, and reproofs of instruction are the way of life.
Yeah.
To keep thee from the evil woman, from the flattery of the tongue of a strange woman.
Yeah. So it's not talking about an actual lady, an actual woman, with physical thighs and legs and breasts and all that.
That's the thing though, because like the Sharim had mentioned it, man. Those things they are like women because those philosophies they entice people.
Right.
Kind of like how a woman,
Yeah, that's beauty.
Yeah, because when you see a fine woman on the streets, sometimes you just can't stop looking. Sometimes in the flesh.
Yeah, but this is the knowledge of the Lord is also.
There's also a woman.
It's a woman too, except she's hard to keep.
Yeah, exactly.
She's hard to maintain, man.
Yep.
Anyway, this is Proverbs chapter 5, verse 15. Let's get down to verse 15. It says, "Drink waters," talking about the word. "Drink waters out of thine own cistern, and running waters out of thine own well." Right. So just stick to what you learned. Stick to what your teachers have taught you, what they showed you, man. What the Lord has showed you, because we know for a fact the Lord is dealing with the elders and apostles of Green Millstone. We know that by faith. Okay. It says, "Let thy fountains be dispersed abroad, and rivers of waters in the streets." And also, you what was it, Psalms 2 or Psalms 1? It should be a tree planted near the rivers of water.
Yeah, Psalms 1.
Yeah, so
let me get it.
That's another thing. You grow by this. Yeah, you can get it. You grow by this truth, man. You grow. Except when these other doctrines, that's the thing. They don't offer the solutions. All right, and this we're growing lively. We're being quickened, like the brother mentioned. All right, these other philosophies can't do that. You're dying by the minute. All right. Verse 17. Let them be only thine own, and let not strangers with thee. Right, man. Just like I said before. Hey, trust in the Lord with all thine heart, man.
Lean not unto thine own understanding.
Right. I'm gonna skip down to verse.
I got 2 precepts I want to get.
Come on. I'm just getting down to verse 19. It says, "Let her be as the loving
hind." I believe it says. Let me see.
Yeah, let her be as
hind,
a loving hind and pleasant roe. Let her breasts satisfy thee at all times. All right, and what comes out of breasts? Milk. And what is the scriptures known as? Milk. You see how the scriptures connect that like that? So what? Keep getting the milk, and that's a whole lesson by itself.
Because if I could say real quick, because basically you as an Israelite, once you're learning, when you start to learn the 100% truth, man, your heart, your mind should be given to these scriptures, man. Nothing else, I mean, I'm not saying only study every single day, 24/7, but we're saying that as far as like what you're learning, should be what the elders and apostles of Great Millstone teach, man.
Yeah.
You know?
It says, "Let her breast satisfy thee at all times, and be thou ravished always with her love." Yeah, right, man. So, hey, you need to get with this woman, man. You need to get with this, Sophia, as it's known in the Greek, which, what was it? The word for wisdom.
Wisdom in the Greek is Sophia, I think.
Right. So, what is this name of a woman? And this is known as a woman. All right. It says.
Yeah, Sophia means wisdom.
Yeah, verse 20.
Because if I could say something real quick, because Philo, Sophia,
Mhm.
Philo, I believe is how you pronounce it if you break it down.
Yeah.
Philosophy means love of wisdom. Because Sophia, Philo means love, and Sophia means wisdom. Philosophy.
Mhm.
Because in Spanish you'd say filosofia, but I think you say the same. You say it the same in Latin, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just look it up on it. I don't want to say nothing.
I'm gonna verse this up. Proverbs chapter 5, verse 20.
I got Psalms.
And why will thou, my son, be ravished with a strange woman? Again, why are you getting involved with these other books? I don't even know how Jake even comes across these things, but nonetheless they do. They're set up by the Lord to be snares, man. You know, hey, everything starts with a thought, doesn't it?
Oh, can I say this real quick? Oh no, Salah, go ahead.
Yeah, and the brother just talked about in Jeremiah where the heart is deceitful, man. The heart is hella weird, man, and they come up with weird things, man. You know, and one of those things, what? They spring up doctrines, man, precepts of men.
Oh, if I could say real quick, philosophy, so like I said, love of wisdom. It means knowledge, body of knowledge. That's what philosophy means, and the noun. And so when you break it down, basically, philo means loving. Philo, Philo, and Sophia means knowledge, wisdom. Knowledge or wisdom from Sophis, wise, learned, of unknown origin, meaning, wisdom, knowledge. So yeah, philosophy.
Right.
Yeah, this is
this is just a special wisdom that the Lord has showed unto us, man. By the word.
Because
it takes time.
This is pure. The wisdom and knowledge of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Wisdom, knowledge, understanding of Yahweh Shem Yahushai is pure. You know, his wisdom is pure.
Yeah, well, and these are the doctrines. What they, as I read before, they bring on death, man. This is just pure darkness.
I got that.
This is light.
If you want me to get it,
Real quick,
go ahead. So
yeah, finish this up. Verse 20. And why wilt thou, my son, be ravished with a strange woman and embrace the bosom of a stranger? Yeah, exactly. Look, I already said it before, man. Jake has no business meddling with these other philosophies.
If I may say, because the scriptures say that Israel basically had played the harlot, right? Because basically, what happened? What's the main thing that Israel, for some reason, just love to do? They love to worship other gods, man. That's another philosophy.
They love exploring.
Yeah.
When the Lord already gave you a road to walk upon.
There you go, man. You know, hey, we read it in Proverbs, man. The wandereth out of way of understanding, man. You know, if I could say this real quick. So Israel had played the harlot. That means that what Israel had went whoring after these other gods, man. And what happened, man? That's what got us put in the predicament that we're in. If I can get a quick one in Baruch.
Yeah, I think they get what you got in Proverbs.
Yeah, this is Baruch, chapter. I'm gonna get 4. Salaki, I'm gonna get chapter 3 and verse 8. Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity, where thou hast scattered us for a reproach and a curse, to be subject to payments according to all the iniquities of our fathers, which departed from the Lord our power. So we're put in the predicaments that we're in, you know, being in captivity, you know, wherever we're at, you know, because we're scattered. That happened because what? As a nation, we decided to go. Salakia, the wicked of our nation decided to go off, and we got punished as a nation. Because of course you have the righteous, you know, men of Israel. All right. So, did you want to get that, or?
Yeah, you can get whatever you got.
Yeah, let me see. Oh, yeah, Psalms 1. Psalms chapter 1 and verse 3. And he shall be planted, Salaki, and he shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water that bringeth forth his fruit in the season. His leaf also shall not wither, and whatsoever he doeth shall prosper. I'm going to start at verse 2, Salakia. Psalms 1 and 2. I'm going to start at 1. Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the way of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful. But his delight is in the law of the Lord, and in his law doth he meditate day and night. And he shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water that bringeth forth his fruit in his season. His leaf also shall not wither, and whatsoever he doeth shall prosper. Because what? When you stay within what the Lord told you to do, that's basically the best way for you to live. All right? Because this is how, basically, obtaining these scriptures and learning how to live according to what's written in the scriptures, you're within the love of the Lord. You know, you're within the boundaries that the Lord set, man. All right. And what did not the Lord command Joshua? Let me get that real quick in Joshua. That the law. Let me just get it. I don't want to mess it up. I don't want to misquote it. This is Joshua 1:8. This book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth, but thou shalt meditate therein day and night, that thou mayest observe to do according to all that is written therein. For then thou shalt make thy way prosperous, and then thou shalt have good success. Yeah, because basically when you stay within your fear of the Lord, within keeping the law, statutes, and commandments to the best of your ability, doing what the Lord commanded you to do, that's how you obtain life, man. All right, that's how you don't get that's how you keep from dying, essentially. All right, because when you start to do other things and wander out of this way, man, you're gonna be through, man. You're gonna get put to death, man. And that's something that we do not want. All right, so we have to maintain ourselves within the fear of the Lord. All right, within the 100% truth, preaching the 100% truth. All right, preaching the correct doctrine that our elders and apostles have taught us. If I can get this real quick in Revelations.
Yeah.
This is Revelations chapter 3 and verse 11. Yeah. Behold, Behold, I come quickly. That's the Lord speaking. Hold that fast which thou hast, that no man take thy crown. And it's simple and to the point, man. What are we gonna hold, man? We're gonna hold our faith, man. All right. And that comes with, we put our faith in these words. All right. Basically we learn these scriptures, and then our faith is put in this. Okay.
Yeah, it's going by that river that we've been talking about. Yep. Which is the word, man.
There you go.
If it cleanses you, man. You grow by it. You live by it.
Quick precept. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because we just read it said like a tree planted by the rivers of water. Mm-hmm. When you plant a tree closer to water, it tends to be more fruitful.
It needs the water.
Yeah, because it needs the water.
Yeah.
Romans 11:7, because we're talking a lot about those Israelites that aren't per se in the truth. Those Israelites that would rather go after these other women. Mm-hmm. Well, ultimately, man, it's all predestination. Yeah. Which is a different topic. It's a deeper topic, for a different day. But ultimately, man, hey, let's read it. It's gonna say it way better than we can explain it. Yep. Romans chapter 11 and verse 7. What then? Israel hath not obtained that which he seeketh for, because Israel's always seeking for something, man. All right.
Yeah. But hey, why do you think they're meddling with these other women? They're looking for something.
Come on, they're always looking for something, man. But the election hath obtained it, and the rest were blinded.
Right.
Yep, there you go, man. We can get Isaiah 29:10.
And I mean, there's just so many ways to go through it. There's so many benefits. There's just, hey, man, this wisdom offers you life. I mean, hey, talk about going from black to Latino or Native American to being called sons of the Most High from your respective tribe. Talk about being quickened, man. These philosophies can't do that.
Right, yeah, these other philosophies don't do that. As a matter of fact, these other philosophies don't give you your true identity. Right. If anything, they'll give you, what's the word for fake? Pseudo or synthetic? Actor. Yeah, like yeah, like for example, like those Moors. That's like, okay,
fake identity.
The Moors were they existed and stuff like that.
Somewhere,
they're getting somewhere, but that's still not that's still not your identity. You're still calling yourself a color. I believe that Moor goes back to Moreno, right? If I'm not mistaken. Something like that. Basically, you're still calling yourself something that you're not, man.
Oh man, Wakanda. Yo, Jake.
I dead ass. We was at camp, and there was a Jake that drove by. He had a convertible, old Jake too. He's probably he had to at least be in his mid-60s.
Oh,
his license plate said Wakanda.
Yeah, hey, that's another thing too, man. There's no limit on age, bro. Yeah. That's nothing. Oh, Islam. Yo, I absolutely hate that woman Islam, bro. Yo. That annoying ass, that wench.
Yeah, man. Islam's been destroyed, man.
This is This is Proverbs chapter 5, verse 23. He shall die without instruction, and in the greatness of his folly, he shall go astray. And that's what happened, man. You're lost sheep, man. You went into these other doctrines without any instruction, man. And the Lord said that you're gonna die without instruction. All right. You see what happens when you don't listen to the Lord? You're gonna die, man. But hey, the scriptures talk about it, how they have to know it by death by pain, because ultimately there's a promise that the Lord has to keep, which the 2/3 will live, and in the time to come, when the kingdom of heaven is established, they're not gonna be known as the 2/3. They're gonna be normal. Right, but as of right now, these dudes are dead, man. Our people are dead. This is Proverbs chapter 7, verse.
Did you want me to get?
I'll start at verse 24. It says, what?
Oh no, I was just gonna get the one in Isaiah 29.
Just let me get this quick. This is Proverbs chapter 7, verse 24. Hearken unto me now, therefore, O ye children, and attend to the words of my mouth. You see how many times the Lord had to say this? To hearken unto me, you know? Let not then thine heart decline to her ways. Go not astray in her paths. Because the Lord already set a path for you to go, which is the straight way. Why do you think it's a straight way anyway?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and straight, not as in like straight line, but straight as in, let's get the definition.
Right.
Because it's STRAIT.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Not S, the other one. STRAIGHT.
Alright, explain that, get what you got, and I'll end it up on this.
Straight is a noun, STRAIT, in the Edom Online.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Don't pay attention to the ads, Mm-hmm. Mid 14th century, narrow, confined space or place, specifically of bodies of water. Late 14th century, from Old French estuaire, narrow part, pass, defile, narrow passage of water.
It's narrow.
This is the point I wanted to get. Sense of difficulty.
Right.
Plight.
Yeah, because what's the opposite of straight? We already explained it. It's the broad way, which is it's
leading unto death.
Yeah, it's open. It's easy to fall into, and that's what these women do, man.
Mm-hmm.
These other women, they're so easy to fall into. They're so easy to fall in love with.
And it says that many there be which go in thereat, because when you look at Christianity, Islam, what's the funnest fact that these Islams love to say? Islam is the fastest growing religion. Yeah. You just prove that it's wrong.
Yeah, it's the fastest growing slaughterhouse.
Yeah, exactly.
Verse 26. For she hath cast down many wounded. Yea, many strong men have been slain by her. So all you niggas are dead, bro. All you niggas are dying, bro. These women are killing you.
Yeah, man.
They're casting you to go to sleep.
Yep.
Yeah, you can get your precept.
Yeah, this is Isaiah chapter 29, verse 13, because I read Romans 11 and 7, where it speaks about surely the election hath obtained it and the rest were blinded. Basically, man, the 2/3 really didn't have a choice, man. Those of you, brothers that are within the truth, man, and finding out about the truth, that you're waking up to the 100% truth, man. Hey, man, be thankful, man.
Yeah, Jacob's through.
Yeah, because
be thankful that you're not.
Yeah, be thankful Lord's will that you're not 2/3, man. We all pray that we're not allotted that.
What you got? Oh yeah, you got
Isaiah 29 and 13. Wherefore the Lord, you can break it down. Wherefore the Lord said, for as much as this people draw near me with their mouth and with their lips to honor me, but have removed their heart far from me.
Yeah, this lip service essentially. They're gonna say I love the Lord and this and that. It's claim.
They're just gonna say I love God.
Claim they have faith but not show it. When clearly the scriptures say faith without works is dead. Meaning you're gonna have a lot of faith to where you want to show it. You need to show it. The Lord said so. So you can't just use mouth service, man.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna keep reading. Finish it. Mm-hmm. And their fear towards me is taught by the precept of men.
Right. And the precepts of men. What we know that they know nothing about Proverbs 3 and 5. They throw that right out the window, man. Instead, they follow what their heart says. And what did the heart say? Total wickedness. It's just out of this world, vile and wicked things, man. It's profane, out of the temple. That's why you have these defiled women, man.
Right.
I can't even name them, and to be honest, I don't want to. you better see it every day. I know for a fact we deal with those people out in the highways and hedges, man.
Yeah, man. For example, you might be at the plantation. You meet some bugged out niggas, man, talking about some like they pray like to rocks and shit. Weird stuff like that, man. Shit.
Just to close out, this is Proverbs chapter 7, verse 27.
Did we get all the precepts?
Yeah. Okay. This is Proverbs 7 and 27. Her house is the way to hell. Talking about that woman, man.
Mm-hmm.
Her house is the way to hell, going down to the chambers of death. Yeah, that's self-explanatory. Essentially, you don't want to beware of these women. Mm-hmm. Beware of these women. That's all we gotta say.
Yeah, stay within the truth, man.
Mm-hmm.
Hold fast. Hold fast on what the Lord gave you, man. He gave you faith to believe in His words.
Yeah, because the Lord already gave you that crown. Because that woman is just the burden is it's easy, roughly paraphrasing. Because it's easy, but at the same time it's hard. Right. So we just gotta wait to the end. We already won. We already have the crown.
Right. Yeah. You just gotta hold fast. You gotta hold the faith to the end.
Right. Yeah. That's all we got.
Yep. So with that, we want to give all praises, glory, and honor unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachakadash. We also want to give double honors unto our elders and apostles of Great Millstone. And we also want to give a sincere shalom, Barak, and peace and blessings unto the elect of the nation of Israel. All right? Shalom.
Shalom.